Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This video was actually supposed to go up on Wednesday for Witchy Wednesday, but a family crisis kind of happened and everything just got put on hold. Everything's fine. It's not my place to talk about what happened, so we'll just get right into it. I like watching YouTube videos. It gives me a way to kind of connect with other witches. I'm super quiet. I'm a bit of a lurker. But this is a response to several people who want to be witchcraft gatekeepers. And what I mean is there are a lot of people who want to decide who can and cannot be a witch. And there's a list of criteria that people have that is just completely unrealistic. I mean, I have, for one, I'm not going to show you my notes because they're kind of private, but I have 5 note cards of notes from one video, and not all of it, but this was something that was said in the video and in the description. A witch is not made. You're born a witch or you're not. Let me start there. Everyone has the ability to be a witch, whether you were born into a witching family or not. Anyone can use their personal power, their personal energy to perform spells. We have to get away from this idea that being a witch is some enlightened state of being, because witchcraft throughout history hasn't always been called witchcraft. Most scholars don't even call it witchcraft, they call it sympathetic magic. And you see that all over, Greek and Roman antiquity. There's a reason why Romans and Greeks were so obsessed with the phallus, because it was a strong symbol. That's another thing that's prevalent throughout many cultures is symbolism. That's a type of sympathetic magic. And everyone did it. Or just about everyone did it. So to say that you have to be born a witch and into a witching family is beyond ignorant. It's ignorant of history, it's ignorant of other people, it's ignorant of other cultures. Let me think. I'm looking at my notes, and this is on one specific video, and another thing that we need to talk about, because I see this getting confused a lot. Paganism versus witchcraft. Paganism is an umbrella term for many religions that can be loosely categorized as similar. Now, religions throughout the world will and do evolve in their surroundings. So, Roman Catholicism is different than, say, Eastern Orthodox Christianity. And that's not a bad thing. Because when you look at the world, religion has to be influenced by the culture that it's living in. So, paganism is being influenced by the culture it's living in. So, to say that paganism is an earth-based religion, it's really not. It's a category of religions. I've ranted about this. This isn't as angry. And witchcraft is a practice. I'll get back to the paganism in a minute, but witchcraft is a practice. It isn't religious in and of itself. Many many self-proclaimed pagans do practice witchcraft. There are Christians who practice a form of witchcraft, which honestly I can reconcile better than like a Christo-pagan, but each to their own. But witchcraft has very little to do with actual paganism. So when I see people using these two terms interchangeably, it's very frustrating because they aren't interchangeable. That being said, let's go back to paganism for a second. The problem I have with earth-based is simply that not all pagans now follow an earth-based tradition. Not everyone follows the European, specifically Celtic, Wheel of the Year. Either they're in a location that doesn't really have seasons, they're in the southern hemisphere where basically the Wheel of the Year is flipped. And trying to put paganism into one small little category, it's not going to work. There are incredibly powerful pagans, witches, who do almost everything with technology. They don't have candles, they don't use runes. As the world evolves, we have to evolve with it. We can't stay in this pre-Christian mindset. We have to be able to evolve. And if you can't evolve enough to at least accept the fact that there are other ways of being a pagan, then really can't help you. That being said, witchcraft is open to everyone. Absolutely anyone can be a witch. And I don't know why we have this elitism built built into our system of worship. Like, by saying that you have to meet certain requirements to be a witch, you're shutting people down and you're pushing them out of the community. And the witchcraft community, the pagan community should be open. It should be accessible for everyone. Also, when you say that certain people can't be a witch, that's really, really ableist, and I have a problem with that. Because there are people who physically can't light incense because they're allergic to it. Or they can't have candles because of their apartment or their living situation, or they don't have the means, they can't physically do it. That also dismisses any form of witchcraft that they develop on their own. So if somebody gets migraines that are triggered by incense, and I have to be careful about this, not for myself, but for my boyfriend who's allergic to freaking everything. But so many different incense triggers headaches, so I have to either do all my spells when he's not home, or find incense that doesn't bother him. Now, one of the most popular incenses for witches, dragon's blood, triggers migraines with him. So I can't use it. I cannot use it in our house. Does that mean that none of my spells are going to work because I can't do that? Because I can't use dragon's blood? What about all these spells and everything that require walking? And there are people who can't walk. They might be in a wheelchair and they can move around the circle in a wheelchair. But if you've ever tried to help somebody with a wheelchair, that in itself can be difficult. To move around, to just think about moving around in a non-motorized wheelchair. It's hard enough in a motorized wheelchair. So, chill, I think, is what everyone just needs to do. And this kind of got away from me, but it's mostly a rant about letting people be witches. Just let people be witches and keep your paganism out of my witchcraft. And I'll keep my witchcraft out of your paganism. And I keep my paganism out of some of my witchcraft because not everything requires me to call upon deity to help me. Sometimes I can just raise the energy and do it. Witchcraft will never need a religion behind it. There are secular witches, there are atheist witches, and they're completely valid witches. And I guess that's it. As far as who can and can't be a witch, everyone can be a witch. So, yeah, I'm starting a blog, an actual written blog to help me write more, and links and everything will be down below. Email me if you want, comment, like this video. Let's get a conversation going and we'll have fun. And I hope you all have a great day. I will be back a little bit later with another video because I have another issue I'd like to discuss. But until then, bye-bye.